All right, guys, welcome back to another video. And today's video, we're talking about my top 10 favorite Disney video games. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Disney. You guys know I'm a travel agent for Disney and all that kind of stuff that we talked about in other videos. I love Disney, so obviously I have a ton to say about my favorite video games that were based on Disney properties. And in this list, we're going to be excluding Star Wars and Marvel stuff because I don't want it to take up the whole entire list. So we're actually going to do separate list for Star Wars and Marvel. So this is going to be everything else besides that of my favorite video games that I've ever played that are based on Disney properties up until today. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
The first one on this list coming in at number 10 is Disney Universe. This is a game that was on the Xbox 360, PC, and also the PlayStation 3. And this game was really unique. It was a really simplistic game. You know, a lot of people thought it was for kids and stuff, but it's still a really good game for Disney fans. Basically what happens is you get to be all these different Disney characters in costume form, essentially, like you're seeing in this video. And you're going through all of these Disney worlds. It's collectathons, it's like missions, it's battling things and stuff like that. You get to go through, like, you get to see worlds and stuff like Lion King, like Pirates of the Caribbean, like Monsters Inc. and stuff like that. And you're going through, and the gameplay is actually a ton of fun in this game. And it's, like I said, it's a collectathon, it's missions, it's just really simplistic in nature, which is why it's on the last on this list. But it's still a really fun game, really unique to be able to see all these Disney worlds that you're going through and kind of play through cooperatively with your friends and stuff like that. It's a game that's probably forgotten by a lot of people, but Disney Universe was exactly what it is. It's a universe of going through all Disney different properties and stuff like that that they did. And it's a really fun game coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Disneyland Adventures. If you guys remember, this game was originally brought out for the Xbox Kinect. It did get updated, so you can actually play it with just a controller now. But for me, as a huge fan of the Disney parks and stuff like that, I love playing through this game, especially since I don't live next to Disneyland. I live closer to Disney World, and it wasn't the park I grew up with, but still having the Disneyland, you know, property like this, being able to see the castle and stuff like that and exploring it, kind of getting through a Disney feels. If you can't be at the parks, you know, this is one of the next best things you could play, and you can explore the parks. They have some mini games that you can play with on the rides and stuff like that. It was a really unique game, and it's really fun. I actually wish they would make one in today's standards for Disney World. So this is based on the Disneyland in California. But if you're a fan of the parks and stuff like that, this is probably a game you want to check out. It's obviously really cheap right now that you can get, and it really brings the magic of the parks to your home when you're not able to actually be at the park. So that's Disneyland Adventures coming in at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is Disney Infinity. And Disney Infinity 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. I'm really sad that this game ended. They had some really good ideas on where this was going to go, but unfortunately it was a Toys to Life game and it kind of ended because it didn't want to go any forward. But we still got a ton of great content in this game. I own all the figures already. I think I'm only missing like 3 figures and a couple of the play discs that were there, the toy box discs that they had. But I love this game. They created a lot of different play sets from Star Wars, from Marvel, from Pixar properties and stuff like that. The toy box stuff where you can just create your own worlds and stuff like that was awesome. People were sharing all these different levels and stuff, which unfortunately, obviously, the servers are down now. But it's still an amazing game even without that stuff. They created like a toy box speedway game where you get to play with all the Disney characters and race around Disney properties. They created a bunch of Star Wars stories in this game as well. And they created Marvel Battlegrounds, and Marvel Battlegrounds is such a fantastic game. If you guys are Power Stone, if you know Power Stone from the Dreamcast, picture that with Marvel characters and Disney Infinity. That was one of the last playsets that they made. And I still own all the Disney Marvel characters because of that, because I love playing the Marvel Battlegrounds playset and the Speedway and stuff like that. But this game is a ton of fun. If you're even a little bit of a fan of Star Wars, I would probably recommend most people nowadays just buy it on PC. It is missing the Marvel Battlegrounds that I just talked about and a couple of other playsets and characters out there on the PC version, but it's obviously going to be a lot more expensive if you buy it on Xbox and getting all the characters and stuff like that. You'll have all access to all the content that came out, but you're going to have to buy the characters, and that's going to get expensive. Where on the PC side, you unlock almost all the characters for a set price, and you kind of have everything unlocked from the get-go and get to play. So I have all the stuff. I have all the characters because I owned them as the time went on. And it's a fantastic game, guys. Check this one out. Disney Infinity. So much content from all of this different Disney properties to be able to play with. The next one here coming in at number 7 is Disney Dreamlight Valley. So this is a relatively new game on the list. And if you guys are fans of games like Animal Crossing and stuff like that, this is that game, but for Disney fans. And obviously, I love Animal Crossing. The fact that we have a Disney version of it where, you know, you're developing Dreamlight, which is what the area that you're being called, and you get to meet all these different Disney characters. They have some Disney music sprinkled in, and you get to visit their world. So some of the characters, when you bring them in, let's say you're visiting Moana, you actually visit her at, you know, the island and stuff like that, and you hear the Disney music, and you have to kind of make her come to your island and stuff and support Dreamlight. It's a really good game. Definitely, if you're a fan of Animal Crossing, you like, you know, The Sims and stuff like that, decorating your own house and all that stuff, this is that game. It is free to play as well, and it's that game for Disney fans. Check it out, guys. Number 7, Disney Dreamlight. Keeping up with that same tone, another game from Gameloft, which is what the previous game was from, and this is now Disney's Speedstorm. This is a game that I've been highly addicted to for the last few months, going through all the different seasons, and it's about to be free to play now, so everyone can enjoy it, because before it was early access. Basically, it is Mario Kart for Disney fans. I can't believe it took this long for someone to actually make this, but Gameloft is doing a fantastic job with this game. The fact that you can actually play Disney Speedstorm and see all the different Disney characters, and they're creating all the different tracks based on Disney properties, and the music in this game is just fantastic. They're doing a great job with the music, where it's remixing the old songs from these actual properties. The next season that's coming when free to play goes live is going to be Aladdin. I can't wait to see the track and the music from that iconic movie. I hope that they lean into more stuff. I hope that they lean into Disney parks. It'd be awesome to, you know, race around the Disney World's parks and stuff like that, and hearing some iconic music, but they're doing a fantastic job. I hope this game lives on for a long time so we can keep getting more properties, more levels, more tracks, and more characters. But what's in here already has been awesome. And if you're a Disney fan and you like racing games like Mario Kart and stuff like that, this is definitely not one to be missed. Disney's Speedstorm. I'm going to cheat a little bit and call this game my number 5 and my number 4, because we're talking about Disney's Aladdin and Disney's Lion King. That I obviously played on the Super Nintendo and on Genesis back in the day. The collection that they make now for the Switch and PC and stuff is probably how most people are going to play this, which is what I'm using here. And Aladdin was a fantastic game that I played when I was in my childhood, you know, on the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. And the fact that we have a way to relive it now, and they added, you know, all these different things to the game. The graphics are updated. Being able to play any parts of the level and all that kind of stuff is just awesome, and being able to play all the different versions of the games as well. And on the same token, the Lion King was another one that I played all the time on you know, on Genesis and Super Nintendo and stuff, and it was fantastic. And being able to listen to all the music from these iconic games right here on the game disc is awesome. So if you guys are fans of these games, they did a great job porting this over, and I would definitely check them out. The next one here, coming in at number 3, DuckTales Remastered. DuckTales is such an iconic game from back in the day, and they remastered it with obviously updated visuals and stuff like that, and they did a fantastic job with updating the visuals to this fantastic game that I used to also play this game as a childhood, but now the remastered is definitely the way I experience it now, because they did such a great job. Everything that you remember from the original is here. The iconic DuckTales music, as you guys are hearing a little bit there, is obviously here. Such a great game. Love the TV show, love the game, and you know, the remastered was just done really well. And if you're a fan of DuckTales, you definitely need to check this one out. Coming in at number 4. Next one here, coming in at number 2, is Castle of Illusion. Castle of Illusion is such a fantastic game. It's obviously a remastered version again of the original game from back in the day, and they did a fantastic job with this one. And being able to play a Mickey Mouse game, and the art in this game that they redid just looks fantastic. Another one that they just did such a great job with. Whether you like the old version and you're playing that, or you're playing this new remastered version, you can't go wrong. As long as you play this game, that's really all that matters, because this is one of the greatest Disney games of all time. Obviously, not only just my favorite game on this list, but a lot of people's favorites out there as well. So check this one out, guys. If you have not played this game before, I definitely urge you, especially if you're a Disney fan, Castle of Illusion. And the last one here, coming in at number 1, is probably not a surprise to many people, and that is Kingdom Hearts. It could be any of the Kingdom Hearts games, the whole series in general, this being Kingdom Hearts 3, but it is a fantastic game. If you're a Disney fan, this game was created for you. It is literally an RPG where you're going through it and you're playing through the Disney worlds, and you're going through this RPG. But you get to experience all the Disney characters. They come alive in the story. You get to go explore Disney worlds like Frozen and stuff like that. And here, being in those worlds, seeing all the characters, exploring this RPG, it is just fantastic. The gameplay is very varied and stuff like that, especially in the third one. It's just fantastic. If you're a Disney fan and you haven't played any of these, you're definitely missing out. It's so good. It's so much fun. exploring these worlds and playing with these Disney characters and stuff like that. And it's definitely highly, highly recommended. It is the best game involving Disney properties, in my opinion, to today's date, that you can actually get your hands on. And people love these games, and they're so good. And as you can see here, very varied, that you're going to see a lot of different Disney love and Disney characters in the actual game. But that's it, guys. That is my top 10 favorite Disney games and Disney video games out there. What are your favorite games that maybe didn't make my list? Again, these are my favorite games, not necessarily the top best games in the world, but just my current favorite Disney property games. Again, leaving out Marvel and Star Wars, which are going to get their own list, because if we added those, they would take over this whole gigantic list pretty much. So I wanted to separate those for their own list. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, leave your questions and comments down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.